Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay? So we're going to get started. Welcome. It's so great that so many of you were able to join us this evening. I'm Katie Cook. I'm the principal here at DMS. My partner in crime tonight is going to be Mr. Eric Gercio. He is our school counselor for grades 7 and 8. So we wanted to just give you a general overview of some 7th and 8th grade information tonight. And just so you know, everything we're saying tonight you must memorize because it will never be repeated ever again. I'm just kidding. We will actually go over some of the same exact information for you guys at 7th grade orientation in August. So we will definitely be repeating some of the same exact information for you. Can you hear me okay? No? Okay. I don't know where our... I will talk louder. How about that? So, like I said, I'm going to be introducing to you our school counselor for grades 7 and 8. That's Mr. Eric Gercio. We have a whole team of people to help our students here in the building, and some of that team stays the exact same team for all grades 4 through 8. Some of it changes at the end of 6th grade going into 7th grade. So you guys are all familiar with Mrs. Reynolds, hopefully. She's been your school counselor for grades 4, 5, and 6. And for grades 7 and 8, your school counselor will be Mr. Eric Gercio. Mr. Seavey has been our assistant principal this year. If you haven't heard the news, he is moving up to be the next high school principal in the fall, actually starting July 1st. So we will have a new assistant principal here at DMS in the fall. Our other members of the team, Ms. Howard is our school social worker. Mr. Valerie is here as our student engagement specialist. Dr. Finn is our school psychologist, and we actually have 2 Helio Health providers. Mrs. Drinkwine is one of them. So I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Gercio to give you a little bit more details about scheduling and classes for 7th grade.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for making the time to come out here, learn a little bit about 7th grade and what changes and what ultimately doesn't change. One of those big changes is that, as Mrs. Cook said, you won't have Mrs. Reynolds anymore as your school counselor. I will be your school counselor. So anybody in grades 7 and 8, I become your school counselor. But if you don't like change, the good thing is that Mrs. Reynolds' office is right next to mine, so you can always say hi, and we can have a little bit of a transition piece there. So just a shameless plug about what school counselors do, for those of you that don't know. I mean, we're a little bit of everything, right? So quite simply, it's the personal, social, academic, and career development of all students. So kind of threw together a running list of things that, you know, we encounter on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. So, you know, if any of those things up there are something that you find to be challenging for yourselves, if parents in the room, if you find that to be a challenge for your child, like, you know, reach out. You know, students too, come see me. That's what we're here for, right? So we're here to help you through the easier stuff like organizational skills. We're also here for the little bit more complicated stuff about, you know, kind of, you know, navigating difficult social situations or studying for big tests and stuff like that. So again, we do a lot of really cool stuff and a lot of helpful ways for everybody, including parents. So what changes in 7th grade? I kind of said a lot changes, but I also said there's not a lot that changes, but you know, like it's a big, big step, right? Same building, but now you're on the other side. So I don't know, some of you might not like the first end of this, but your day now starts at 7:40, right? So the doors open, you guys are welcome into the building at 7:40. The first bell, or actually the bell rings at 7:48 now, and that's when homeroom starts. All right, so everybody needs to be in their class ready to go at 7:48. However, the really cool thing on the other side of this is you all get to leave school at 2:21 now. All right. You're going to have a homeroom, like I said, right first thing in the morning. It's a nice place to listen to announcements, do some like kind of check-ins with your teacher. A lot of information is presented to you during this time. Some of it may be relevant to you, others may not. So just pay attention. A lot of cool stuff comes your way during that homeroom period. You're going to have 8 periods a day now, right? So I think currently in 6th grade, you are all used to staying in a room together, for better and for worse, with the same people all day, only moving for a few random classes, probably art, music, PE, stuff like that. But now, in 7th grade, every 41 minutes, you're going to be doing something new, something different, right? With a different teacher, with a whole new set of classrooms, and a whole new set of classmates, right? So that's nice, especially for those people who maybe aren't loving the current population of your class, or maybe need a scenery change every once in a while. I think a lot of people like the movement. That means you're going to get 3 minutes in between each period. So there's a lot of newfound autonomy, of chances that you can get out, make connections with friends, talk, stop at your locker, change out some stuff, the materials going from one class to another. Sometimes those classes are right across the hall from each other, and that's like, that's a 10-second walk, and maybe we've got time to go to the bathroom, stop at our locker, go find a friend, say hi. Other times, though, we're going to have to make sure that we are aware of the 3-minute passing time, because we need to go from one end of the building all the way down, especially to the tech room, which is in the basement. So just be aware when you get your schedule over the summer, and we're going to be doing this again. We're going to invite you all back and sometime at the end of August and have a locker night, so you can kind of get your locker, get your schedule, walk around a bit, find out where you're supposed to be. So don't worry about that. That'll be coming shortly. And then also now lunch is a little earlier, so that's going to be at 11:39 now. Okay, I don't know. Lunch to me is anything afternoon, so this is more of a brunch, I guess. But yes, lunch 11:39 next year. So, go back one. And there's just a time slot right there, right? Kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier in that conversation. You'll notice 7:48 start. You're out of here at 2:21. So here's where things really don't change all that much, right? Here's the classes you guys are going to be taking next year, right? We've all done English. We're doing that now. We've always done that. We've always been doing math, science, and social studies. You're still doing that next year. You guys will be still doing PE. You guys are still doing art and music. Those of you who are in band or chorus are still going to be doing that. The other really neat thing is now, instead of coming in super early in the morning to be in your band or chorus groups, band and chorus is now built into your day. So that means it's a part of your day, usually around 4th period, right before lunch-ish. The newer classes that you guys might be experiencing are family and consumer science. You guys are going to be learning a lot of really cool things in there, a lot of, cooking, following a recipe. You're going to be doing some financial management, learning how to balance, like costs and paychecks and what we can spend and what we can't. We're going to be doing some technology. Right, so that's your traditional, working with some power tools and designing and producing different things, following schematics, all right? You guys are going to be taking health now, every other day all year. That's going to be a new class for you. And then you guys are either doing French or Spanish, all right? So if those of you who found in your letter that all the classes you can take at some point, I can't remember when, maybe a couple months ago, students were given the option to select French or Spanish. So if you check those sheets, all right, so if you notice that you signed up for French and it says Spanish or vice versa, just send me an email, let me know. That's a super easy change, and we can make that adjustment, okay? And then other times, when you're looking at your schedule, when you get it over there, and you get it over the summer, you're going to notice other classes like RTI English or RTI Math. All right, so those of you who maybe don't find math super easy or English super easy, we need a little extra help, we build that into your day now. So if you see RTI English or RTI Math in your day, just know that's a place where you can get some support in math or English, okay? We also have study halls, which is the traditional kind of unstructured 40 minutes of, it's up to you to determine what you want to get done. If that means you got to study for a text later that day, study for the test. If you've gotten all your homework done and you know that you can kind of read a book or, go to the library or go do something kind of mindless, turn off for a little bit, you can do that there as well. Some of you might notice a structured support in your day. Structured support was actually a really cool thing we started this year. So structured support is with a teacher It's a small group of students, and that teacher takes an active role in helping those students organize their assignments, helps them identify which assignments haven't been done yet. They will help them finish longer projects. They will help them study for tests. So if you find that to be something that you believe to be helpful for your son or daughter, or if you, the student sitting here going, you know, that sounds like a really cool idea, I kind of want that, again, reach out, come find me, send me an email. And then also, notice structured study hall and resource in the schedule too. So here's an example of what a schedule might look like. All right, so I think if you're looking at the cool hacks I could tell you right now is that anytime you see a room number that's a 100 level, that's the first floor. Anytime you see a room number that's a 200 level, that's the second floor. All right, so I can guarantee you, as maybe overwhelming as this looks right now, I give it maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks of following the schedule, and you will have it all figured out. Middle school is just 2 hallways kind of stacked on top of each other with a few extra spaces that you're already familiar with, the cafeteria, one of the gym. So again, there's a lot of really familiar things and a lot of new things too. But then again, just know it's a really easy place to navigate, and if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, just know that after 2 weeks, you guys make super quick work of this. And then other really neat things that change. So now you guys are able to play sports for the school. So you can put on the Marcellus jersey, play, a lot of different sports. We got fall sessions, winter session 1, winter session 2, and then spring session. So if you are particularly interested in playing a sport, be aware of those deadlines and registration dates. We usually send out Parent Square information about that, and we'll do kind of a little crash course for you here in a moment. You can also join clubs. There's like the drama club. There's a Rubik's Cube club. There is a ukulele club. I think there's a Dungeons and Dragons club. I can't remember. We've got a lot of really cool things. And one of the things that you guys were given on the way in is that little menu of choices. So take a look at that piece of paper. I think a lot of you have it right now. Those are all the really cool clubs that you can connect with after school between that 2:30 to 3 o'clock time. And anytime you're connecting with a club like that or staying after school for extra support, you guys will always be able to take the elementary school run, the elementary bus run home, just like old times, right? Just in case you missed it, right? So you all know what to do there. So same thing, just as a middle school student. And then the other really neat thing next year, you're going to have your own personal locker. All right, so that's a nice space for you to keep anything important to you safe. So if you've got something really, special to you, or you've got something really expensive you're bringing to school and you want to keep it safe, that is your locker with your own personal unique combination. So that is a really nice place to keep all your really important stuff. Okay. And then one of the other things that you guys can do next year is getting into the National Junior Honor Society. All right, so really cool thing if you're interested in academics and academics are really important to you. This is the precursor to the National Honor Society. So this is for any 7th grade student with a cumulative average of 93 or higher after the first 3 marking periods. Okay, so cumulative, so that doesn't mean it has to be a 93 each time. We can average them out. All right, so there's an application process involved. So once that announcement is made, and it's usually right around the 3rd marking period end date, which is sometime probably in March, I'm thinking, that we'll make that announcement even a little bit before too. Parents, you guys will have information about that as well to remind the students to apply for it if they are interested. That application process is collecting a lot of data about some of the things that you're doing in your free time. Where are you volunteering your time? What sports do you play? What clubs are you a part of? National Junior Honor Society looks great on little like resumes that you might be building to start applying to jobs. And also a really great thing to get into if you're interested in the National Honor Society, which looks great on college applications. So if academics are your thing and you're super into it, I highly encourage you to consider National Junior Honor Society. So, and on that note, that's my piece of this. That's kind of a little crash course about what to expect. We're going to be doing this again a couple times, especially in June. I'm going to come visit 6th grade classrooms, and you guys are going to get a little different version of this as a friendly reminder and send-off to summer. So if you have any questions, hold until the end. We'll have a little session at the end, I believe.
Yeah, we'll have time for questions. Just if you're wondering about how to sign up for athletics, and our fall season starts right at the beginning of the school year in September, so at some point in August, you would be able to register your child for any modified fall sports. So that would be what's listed on your sheet there at the top, so soccer, football. If your child is interested in any of that, keep an eye on our athletics site on our webpage. This is just a little cheat sheet version of what you would need to do, but if you go to the marcellusschools.org main website and go to departments, click on athletics, the student athlete registration tab has all the details you would need. There's details in there about deadlines and requirements for having your child's physical up to date and other things you need to be aware of specific to athletics. Mike Free is our athletic director, and so any questions relating to athletics can be directed to him. But we just want to make sure that you're aware going into the summertime that if your child wants to participate in any fall sports, get them registered in August. And our parent communication tools really don't change from 6th grade to 7th grade. We obviously use Parent Square a lot. You guys are aware of that. School Tool is a major piece of communication that you were probably just beginning to dabble in as parents of 6th graders. So that will continue on into 7th, 8th grade, and even high school. That's the same tool that all of our 7 through 12 teachers use to communicate grades, assignments. We also track attendance on there. So as a parent, if you're not familiar with how to log into School Tool, the easiest thing is maybe just ask your child to log in, because they would know how to log in using their same credentials they use to get on their Chromebook every day here at school. So if you want to take a look at School Tool with your child, have them log in. You can browse through some of the different options there in terms of the grades, the assignments, the attendance, and let us know if you have any questions. And just a plug for our PTA. Our PTA does a lot for us. They help out with a lot of our field trips and transportation. They help celebrate our students. And looking forward to, at the end of June, when we have our 8th grade completion ceremony, our PTA provides some nice treats, snacks, refreshments for that event. And our PTA really tries to do as much as they can throughout the year for every grade level at DMS. So if you haven't considered getting involved in the PTA, please think it over. Our current president is Leslie Michelle. That's going to be changing in the fall, but we're always looking for volunteers, people that are willing to step forward to run committees and different events for the PTA. I think that's all we have. So I will open it up to questions. And remember, this information will all come at you again at the end of August when we do our 7th grade orientation. That will be a chance for the students to actually receive their schedule, walk through the building and find all of their classes, try their locker. So there will be opportunity for that before the first day of school. Any questions you guys have at this time? Mr. Mango, you coming up for a question? If there's, anything you're shy about asking, or if it's more of an individual type of thing, obviously I'll be hanging out for our community dinner that's following this information session, so you can always come catch me and bend my ear. You can catch Mr. Mango and see if he knows the answer to any of your questions. It might be a true test of his abilities, but I again want to just say thank you for coming out tonight and being here to receive this information, and please get in touch with us anytime for any questions you may have. So if you're feeling all set, then we can all make our way over to the cafeteria for the dinner.
Yeah, before you leave.
Oh, hold on. So
Yeah, just before you leave, whoa, holy cow. I don't need this. Do I need it now? So just before we go eat dinner, just to tell you why you're eating dinner here, because that's not normal that people just come and eat dinner at schools. So it was really, the 6th grade team kind of met and we talked about what we could do for open house and bring you guys in and everyone sit down and talk to each other. And the best way is through food. So our PTA helped us out and paid for it. So let's give them a little golf clap and tell them thank you. Some of the kitchen staff donated their time, and they've been working all day, and they have pizza, pasta, a salad. We have bottled waters for you. You guys all brought in awesome-looking desserts. I've just tried 6 of them. Some have nuts in them, so just be careful. So other things that we did, so why we're celebrating tonight. Oh, and there's conversation starters on all the tables, so you can talk to people that you don't usually talk to. Other good things that we have for you. We have a slideshow the kids made with over 100 pictures of their day last week. So let me tell you about that. So last week, we had your kids. We were tired of teaching them after state tests. We were burnt out. That's true. So we decided we wanted them outside and we wanted them to do something good for the community. So we thought about all the things we can do in walking distance. And Mr. Johnson, who's coaching baseball now, came up with the idea of giving all the kids pitchforks and shovels and just knocking on every senior citizen's door and asking if they needed any yard work. So I told them that was a terrible idea. We'd probably horrify them. So we had to kind of readjust it, and we found 3 places that needed some love here. We found the Greenway right across from like Daniel's Grill. They could use some work there. And we found behind KCH, I don't know if anyone has been back there, there's a trail back there. Raise your hand if you've been back there. So there's a trail that used to be like an M trail. The kids used to run cross-country track there, and then they moved to the park. So it's kind of been overgrown. So we took 45 kids up there with rakes and shovels and pickaxes and all sorts of things, and they cleaned that trail out for 2.5 hours, and we got probably half a mile of the trail looking really good. So they did a great job there. Then we took another class and went to the Marcellus Historical Museum, and they did some inside cleaning, they did some outside cleaning, and gave that place some love. So we took basically 115 kids around the community within walking distance and just did things that needed to be done. So golf clap to them, no complaining, so good job, let's hear that. We even had kids ask if they could do it the next day. They wanted to keep doing this. So they all know how to rake and they all know how to weed whack. We had leaf blowers going and they did a great job. So if you have time after dinner to check out either the Greenway area, there's like an amphitheater outside you can check out, or if you can take a little walk behind KCH and see the trail. The beginning part's a little muddy, but after that it's really nice. Then in math class, we had Mr. Riefler donate some lumber to us, and we made 2 benches. And one of the benches is up on that trail, so if you walk and you need a break, you can sit on this nice pressure-treated bench we made in class. And the other one we have, you can see it, it's in the cafeteria. We had a little plaque put on it, and we figure every time you make a bench, you have to donate it or dedicate it to someone. So we're kind of thinking, who can we dedicate this bench to that's done a lot of community service in Marcellus? And every day I'm driving out of school, going home, and I see the crossing guard. You know, the little Miss, Kathy Welsh? And she's there every day, smiling, waving to me, and I'm like, this lady is like a saint. She's been here, I've been here 18 years. I've seen her every day of my life here. So we thought, what a great way to honor her, right? So we made a bench and had it dedicated to her. She doesn't know about it yet. Hopefully she's coming to the dinner. I ran over yesterday and asked her for dinner. She looked at me like I really creeped her out, but I said, we're having like a community dinner if you want to come. So hopefully she's here. If she's here, tell her thank you for everything she's done, because I think that's great. So her name's Kathy. And you'll see the bench with the little plaque. We're going to take that and bring it over to the Greenway and find a little spot, because she's over there helping a lot over there as well. So who else do we have to thank, Mrs. Vandervan? Anyone else? PTA, the cooks. Yeah, the desserts. Thank you. I'll take any leftovers home. What else? Anyone else? I think that's it. So you guys are in an orderly fashion, right? Because I know there's like the kids run.